Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the next edition of vCIO Tuesday coaching sessions. My name's Brian Doyle, and I'll be with you today. And what we are talking about today is what's new in February 2022. Today, we launched a number of new features. Oh, got the wrong screen up here. Today we launched a number of new features, and we're going to run through a few of those together today so you can see exactly what's new in vCIOToolbox and get a sense of where we're trying to take the product as we continue to move forward in our evolution. So with that being said, I'm going to now move over to my screen, and we can start looking at the application. And I'll take you through some of the new features. So the first thing you may notice today is that we have a totally new look and feel to the landing dashboard, removing a couple areas that we had seen that customers hadn't really been engaging with and bringing in this new to-do list. So as we continue to evolve this platform to be a bit of the account manager's tool and making sure that account managers really have the tools that they require in order to do their job, we've started giving you the ability to track tasks and next statements or next steps that you need to do. So where do these tasks get originated? Well, you can create tasks right here from the main board, but we've really given you areas throughout the experience to create these tasks. I'm going to start first with customers. When you come into your customers, you'll notice that there's a new icon, the little plus sign icon here. And this will allow you to create a new task, issue it a task type, assign a start date and end date, and put a priority to it. And this will attach to the customer. So when we create this task, and we add it, if we click into the customer experience, you will see that that task is now listed there, and we can work on that. We are in the process of going through a redesign of our UI and UX, and in that we'll be bringing you a whole new customer profile page here. So this will really become your jumping off point for a lot of different activities, both from an account management perspective, vCIO, vCISO, and customer success perspective as well. So anyway, after you connect your task here to the customer, that is just one area where you can attach it. Now, something we brought into our system in our last iteration was the addition of contacts. So if I click here on the contact list, you'll now see that I'm presented with the contacts themselves. And we'll talk a little bit more about where the contacts can be used later today. But you'll see here when I come into creating tasks, this allows me to now take a look and build this task and build it right against the contact. So now when I add this task in, you'll see when I create this task here and click into the client or into the contact itself, I see my task listed there. Also, back on my dashboard, these tasks are coming back for quick access. So I can come in right here. If I've completed the task, I can mark it as complete. This will then mark it green on my front page. You'll see it change the due date there. I can add any notes in that I want to add, whether it's completed or not. And you'll see back out on my dashboard page, we've got Johnny here as completed, and we're showing him as complete in status. And there we go. So this is just giving you a feel for how you can use tasks within it. Now there's one other key critical place you can add tasks, and this was something that was asked for quite often. Here we can add tasks at the individual recommendation level. Customers want to add notes and add tasks to really account for the follow-up that they need to do within the system. And we can now do that simply by adding tasks right to the recommendation itself. So you'll see here when I come in, I'll see any tasks that might be associated with that customer, and I can choose them to add here, or I can certainly build a new one if required as well. So we're able to attach those tasks there. Sorry, there we go, by clicking on the new task button and adding it to this experience. This will really help us as we're doing these meetings interactively. And if we have something we have to follow up on and we want to tie it directly to the recommendation as we're working in display view in the meeting mode. So that's kind of a high level on tasks. Again, you will see everything that you do each day right here. And what we're trying to do is enable the vCIO to really manage their day and continue to build out those assessments and QBRs, but even engage with their customers throughout the system as well. Now, some other areas that you're going to see that are that contacts come into play is when you start emailing customers. Now, I don't have surveys enabled in this particular demo session, but it would work the same way in surveys. But you'll see now when I come to Business Insights, I can now pick from my contacts on this list. So anywhere that you're going to engage with your customers and send them an email, you now have all the contacts associated with that particular customer at your fingertips right here. And this actually takes us to another large requested item that we've experienced here at vCIOToolbox. And that is the addition of being able to invite your customers to the meetings right out of the system. So what I'm going to show you now is how we can do that and really be able to show or engage our customers right from the system. So bringing back up my screen here, I will show you that if I go into Calendar and I go to Schedule a New Meeting, not only can I schedule my additional resources, but now I can add my customer contacts into this. I can save them here, click on them, and now if I choose to, I can send them an invite, letting them know that they are now part of this experience as well. And just like any one of our actions, you will get confirmation that this invite was sent very quickly here. So again, to rehash through a couple of the things, we've added task management for managing our customers. We've added customer contacts to be part of our meeting experience so we can schedule those folks out in advance. And we're using the contacts as drop downs for any of the survey or reporting things that we have within our system. So now let's shift gears a little bit to our integrations. We added into our integrations Halo last period. In this period, we're completing our PSA integrations by adding Synchro to the mix. You'll see in order to add Synchro to the mix, you will need your Synchro URL and your API key. And then down here, you will see something new. And this is available to you across all of our platforms. You can now choose your primary asset choice. Today it will be your PSA or IT glue, but we are feverishly working on a number of RMM integrations so we can bring that asset data from the RMMs as well, and you can choose what your source of truth is for your assets. Now, coming back to the Synchro integration, basically like all other integrations, it's going to allow you to bring in your customers. It's going to allow you to bring in your customers, your contacts, your assets, your push opportunities, and push tickets to the system. So those are some great things that you're going to be able to do with within the Synchro integration. And Synchro integration also introduces something that we'll be adding to all other PSAs, and that's two-way sync of your opportunities. We recognize that a lot of opportunities get created outside vCIOToolbox. So as we really start building up our potential to supporting our account managers at a much deeper level, we're bringing in those recommendations so you can capture transactional projects as well and bring them into the vCIOToolbox experience. This foreshadows also bringing in our invoicing capability so we can actually see invoices that are written and be able to show a budget versus actual variance within the system to support you as well. So now moving back into the application itself, we're going to go to our next feature for this month. And that is going to be, let's see, we've covered creation of tasks. We've covered creation of using contacts for emailing and attaching to items. We've talked a little bit about the Synchro integration. And now we are going to move into, and for those that don't know, up here in the top right-hand corner is where we have our feature releases. And we are going to come in here and you will see all the feature releases for this month very easily. And we're going to talk a little bit about departments. So we can add departments very easily to our customer situation as well. And when we add these departments, what this really allows us to do is basically funnel our budgets either based on independent sites or based on independent departments within the customer organization. We spoke to many of our customers that were supporting schools and local government, supporting property management firms, and they needed not only an overarching budget, but they needed to be able to drill into those budgets either by site or by department. So if you come into a customer here, you'll see that we've got the ability to add departments. So I'm actually going to go back here to a different client where I think I have some departments already built. And you will see that we've got departments HR and finance available to us here. So we can very easily add new departments. Let's say if I wanted to add sales to this experience. And then where we use these departments is when we're creating our recommendations in the system. So as we come into the system, you will see that we can take a recommendation and now choose the department that this recommendation should be a part of. Now, again, this is not universal, and you will only get this department's field available to you if you, in fact, do choose to invoke departments or sites within the system. But now that you have done that, when you go to your roadmap, you can actually funnel on these budgets and be able to look at them in at the department level. So you'll see here when I funnel down to just sales, now I'm just seeing the projects that are attached to sales. If I move to finance, I'll see any projects that have been tagged to finance. And this gives you the opportunity to really be able to build an individual budget per site or per department, again, in the case of state and local government, so they can then take that to the powers that be and then work with it without looking at the ability of seeing it all in aggregate. We bring it back here, and just like previously, we're able to see all the recommendations in one frame. We've also built you some corresponding reports to support the technology roadmap by department. So here you're able to look at it and notice you're able to see the overall budget for the finance department, the HR's budget year over year, and the sales budget year over year as well. This gives you the ability to really get granular in how you present those budgets, but of course you're never losing the opportunity here as well to show the full technology roadmap as one single standing document. So those were the big items that we added here in February of this year. Again, to rehash those, we've added the ability to track your tasks and add tasks to opportunities, contacts, or companies as you're preparing for your meetings. And those tasks can be done here. We can also assign those tasks to other resources in our organization. And when you click on those tasks, you can quickly edit them and update them right from the main page. Second thing that we added was the Synchro integration. So again, we have now completed our PSA set of integrations with ConnectWise, Datto, Kaseyo, Synchro, and Halo. And now we are moving into the RMM territory with Datto RMM and becoming our next scheduled integration back into the system. Third thing we added into the system this month is the opportunity to explicitly choose your asset source. No longer do we have to rely on the logic to look at your two different assets and determine which one's the master and supplement information. Now you can very clearly and cleanly determine which source you want to be your definitive source for bringing assets in for policy management within vCIOToolbox. Coming back over here, we close out with, so we've covered departments, we've covered tasks, we covered Synchro, and we've covered the ability to add our contacts to various integration or various surveys. So I think we've hit all the big ones. So with that, I am now going to open the floor and see if anybody's got any questions, concerns, or comments they would like to make about our integrations, or quite frankly about anything. This is also meant to be an Ask Me Anything session where anybody can come in, ask anything that they would like, and hopefully we can answer that for you. So if you've got something you'd like to share, please feel free to raise your hand. And if you're open to coming on either verbally or on camera, I'd be happy to bring you into the experience as well. All right, quiet bunch today. Well, if there are no additional comments, concerns, or thoughts, I will certainly give you guys back a few minutes of your day. If anything does come up, please feel free to email me at bdoyle@vCIOToolbox or reach our support team at support@vCIOToolbox. We will continue to hold these coaching events each Tuesday with the open Q&A at the end as well. So we're here to really help you with anything new. Next week, we will start talking about the kind of dovetailing with our Thursday series about the Office of vCIO. Really, what are the responsibilities for a vCIO and how can they leverage vCIOToolbox to engage in a stronger manner and in a regular manner with their clients? So we'll cover a little bit about tasks again, obviously the QBR process, and then how to the long tail of customer engagement by staying engaged with them through NPS and CSAT surveys and what those results will mean. So with that, I hope everybody is having a great week. I'll let you get back to work. Happy selling, and we look forward to seeing you next week in our next coaching session.